This was the most difficult ranking yet. We've taken care of the defensemen and the wingers, but the goaltenders gave me fits. Long gone are the days of starting goalies playing 70-plus games and consistently putting up excellent numbers. We're seeing teams win Stanley Cups without proven elite goaltending on multiple occasions. Scoring is at an all-time high, and goalie statistics are more volatile than ever. In these videos, I typically give a brief overview of each player's play style, ranking them based upon my personal view of the impact they have on the game. Goalies are much more difficult to compare, and it's much harder to verbalize how one is better than another without bringing up numbers, or saying one is simply more clutch than another. So for this list, I'll mostly be discussing each player's statistics and analytics. With that being said, let's talk about number 10 from the Dallas Stars, Jake Oettinger. Jake Oettinger is a perfect example of why ranking goaltenders today is so difficult. If this were 2010, I would have had a guy like Otter cemented in the top 6 or 7 without even needing to look at his numbers. He's 6'6", 27 years old, his team is always in the playoffs, and he's put up 30-plus wins in each of the last 5 years. This is where the discussion gets difficult. What matters most when judging these guys? Is it team success, playoff success, his clutch factor, his goals against average, his save percentage, his analytics, his consistency, or what has he done for me lately? I chose to factor in their goals against average and save percentage along with the goals saved above expected and the wins above replacement. And looking at Ottinger's numbers last season, these aren't top 10 worthy numbers. While his goals against average remained steady, his save percentage took a massive dip last year, and his goals saved above expected and wins above replacement were each hovering around 15th best in the league. But I've given him the benefit of the doubt here. He's a great goalie who had an average season, and I fully expect him to bounce back next year. And if Dallas plans on contending for a Stanley Cup, they're going to need him to. Number 9 from the Montreal Canadiens, Jakub Dobeš. Dobeš is on the other side of the coin, whereas Oettinger is consistently great, but has struggled lately. Dobeš is inexperienced, but has been great lately. Montreal simply would not have gone on the run that they had if it weren't for Jakub Dobeš. His poise, his potential, and his playoff performance is what earned him a spot in the top 10. What would make him higher next year on the list would be improvements to his regular season numbers and overall wins above replacement. Number 8 from the Columbus Blue Jackets, Jet Greaves. Another young goaltender. Jet Greaves was shot out of a cannon last year. All right, let me not do this again. Greaves was awesome last year. While Columbus didn't make the playoffs, he kept them in the hunt. Greaves is above Dobeš at number 8 with his better goals against average, save percentage, and wins above replacement, which are each top 6 amongst the goaltenders on this list. He's also the shortest player on this list at just 6 foot tall, relying on his positioning and athleticism to make as many stops as he does. Hopefully for Columbus' sake, Greaves isn't another Steve Mason. Number 7 from the Colorado Avalanche, Scott Wedgwood. It feels very wrong having Scott Wedgwood this high on the list. He was a career backup goaltender before last season, never starting more than 32 games in a single season. And last year, he still only started 43 games. He also started 43 of those games for the best team in the National Hockey League. But Wedgwood's numbers were way too good to ignore. His goals against average and save percentage are the best on this list, and his goals saved above expected isn't too far behind. What keeps him outside the top 5, along with the fact that he's a backup goalie, is his wins above replacement, which is 6th amongst the players I've listed here. Teams like Colorado and Vegas have proven on multiple occasions that you don't need an elite goaltender to win. You just need one to get hot at the right time. Can Wedgwood stay hot in 2026-27? Only time will tell. Number 6 from the Winnipeg Jets, Connor Hellebuyck. I struggled the most with placing Hellebuyck on this list. On one hand, he's consistently one of the best goaltenders in the world. He's won 3 Vezina trophies, 2 in the last 3 years, but he had a horrible year last year, at least in the NHL. Connor Hellebuyck stole the gold medal for Team USA at the Olympics, but I can't keep him in the top 5 for that reason alone. Hellebuyck had the worst year of his career last season in every single statistic. Each of those stats well below his career averages. Every stat you see on the screen here is easily the worst of any goalie on this list, and it's not particularly close. So in spite of Connor Hellebuyck's overwhelming reputation, it wouldn't be fair to rank him higher than these next 5 guys who each put up far better numbers last season. Although I do personally believe last year was an anomaly, and he's still an elite goaltender in the NHL. But he's got something to prove this upcoming season. Number 5 from the Boston Bruins, Jeremy Swayman. Swayman bounced back last season after a rough 2024-25 campaign. His nearly 29 goals saved above expected is second on this entire list, and he finished third in Vezina voting last season. He was also awarded the Elizabeth Dufresne Trophy, the award given to the Boston Bruins player who has the most outstanding performance in home games. Boston absolutely held on to the right goaltender in Jeremy Swayman. Number 4 from the New York Islanders, Ilya Sorokin. Ilya Sorokin's analytics were very good this season. Out of the players on my list, he's third in goals saved above expected and second in wins above replacement. These analytics are also the most likely reason why he finished second in Vezina Trophy voting last season. What holds him outside the top 3 for me is his average save percentage and goals against average numbers, which were nearly identical to Jeremy Swayman's, but worse than the next 3 guys I have on the list. Number 3 from the New York Rangers, Igor Shesterkin. It just wouldn't be a top 10 goaltenders list without a New York Ranger. Igor had another great season in 2025-26, despite playing for one of the worst teams in the league with an injured and frankly subpar decor. His goals against average is 4th best on this list, while his save percentage is tied for 2nd, behind only Scott Wedgwood. His analytical statistics are also top 5 in the entire league. Another relatively shorter goaltender at 6'1", Shesterkin makes up for it with his aggressiveness, his shot tracking, and mobility. And for Igor's sake, hopefully this Rangers retool is shorter than expected. Number 2 from the Washington Capitals, Logan Thompson. Logan Thompson has now put up back-to-back phenomenal seasons since arriving in DC. It's crazy to say that a sub 2.5 goals against average and a .912 save percentage is above average, but in today's game, those numbers are actually good enough to have him top 3 in each statistic. His wins above replacement and goals saved above expected were each the best in the NHL this past year by a wide margin. Crazy enough, with these numbers, Thompson still only finished 4th in Vezina voting last season. Considering that the man I have sitting at number 1 still exists, I couldn't place Logan Thompson any higher than 2nd. But come on, GMs of the NHL, do better. Number 1 from the Tampa Bay Lightning, Andrei Vasilevskiy. Once again, we have a member of the Tampa Bay Lightning at the number 1 spot. As I've gone through each of these rankings, I was really hoping for a bit more internal debate with the number 1 spots, but they've all been absolute no-brainers. Andrei Vasilevskiy is a superstar goaltender. He's finished top 3 in Vezina voting 6 times over the last 8 seasons, winning twice, the most recent being 2 months ago. His playoff numbers have been abysmal since 2022, but you cannot mess with him during the regular season. He's 4th in save percentage on this list and 2nd in goals against average behind, once again, Scott Wedgwood. His wins above replacement and goals saved above expected are also each 4th on the list. With numbers like those to go along with his league-leading 39 wins, Andrei Vasilevskiy was easily my choice for the number 1 goaltender in the NHL in 2026. Some guys I wanted to mention who I really wanted to put on the list but just couldn't find a spot for, in no particular order, Karel Vejmelka, John Gibson, Joel Hofer, Spencer Knight, Dan Vladar, and Jesper Wallstedt. Who knows? Maybe some of those guys will make the list next year. Let me know in the comments how you would rank the goaltenders of the NHL. We've now taken care of the goaltenders, the defensemen, and the wingers. Next up, last but not least, the centers. Thank you for watching, and take care.